particularly sure that's actually what's going to happen, but we shall see. Occasionally, Canoe-Polo will surprise you. Andy Ross looking ready to go. Sprinting from Denmark, it's looking like it's going to be Christian Kleist. Taking on number 3 from South Africa, Bukla. Neck and neck at the moment. I think Kleist just has the edge here. About half a boat length, big contact with the body. Yep, called in favour of the Danish. I think very fair call. The refs all fairly expected for a sprint start, unfortunately, but very exciting part of the game, so just need to make sure you don't injure anyone, pretty much. Lewison takes it in. Absolutely piling into that South African zone. I think these Danish boats very confident they can turn those boats on a dime and spin and cover a break. Opportunity now, lovely ball in, flicked off for a corner. Any number of shooting possibilities there from the Danish. Iversen all the way out to Larsen. Finds number 4, Ibu, back out to Larsen, into Iversen. Goal! Sorry, just moving a spectator out of my line of sight there. Just confirmation on the screen there, Andreas Iversen. Denmark 1, South Africa 0 currently. South Africans have put 2 boats inside the zone. They're going to try and compress this. In goes Hardy. Hardy tries to find the pass in the zone. No one's there. They have been ejected by the Danish. Big, strong players here, the Danish. They're going to have to hit them with speed if they're going to stand any chance of creating any space in this zone. You can just see them trying to work the far side of that zone here. Being held very much at arm's length by those white boats. Shot clock not running. Long ball over the top, finds Bukla. The shot clock needs to be run down a little bit here. In goes Bukla once again. Pushed away and ejected by Niels Torborg. Danish giving them absolutely no real estate in front of their zone. Bukla again, attacking the far side. Wayward pass there. This is an opportunity for the Danish to steal this. Surely that's going to go off for a sideline throw. It has. Iversen to take. Manages to find Konga. Konga bring the ball up for his teammates. And South Africans need to get some structure in this zone, really. That's a bit more like it. 3 boats comfortably in front of the zone, in between their opponents and their goal. With the Danish absolutely hammering that far side. Illegal jostle turns the ball over. Opportunity now for the South Africans to catch the Danish on the break, but the Danish are just too quick for them. Sawyer's all over it, ready for anything. Taking our time here on pitch 1. Looking like we're going for a dice attack here, so the top man takes the ball in and in theory stops the top defensive player from moving left or right. And then you've got options both left and right to shoot from runners. Brought one more boat out, so we've got more options here. Buchler. Ooh, keeps it under control. Big shot right in the middle, though. It's too easy for the Danish. Oh, it's a sprint finish now. Buchler looks like he might have the edge, but Konga just turning his boat round the ball. Danish looking like they're compressing the zone on this near side. If the camera pans out, we might just see that South African is trying desperately to maintain that structure in the zone. Big gap you can see opening on this near side. They're going to run round to this, surely. In they go. Opportunity now. One-on-one shot with the keeper. This is the one, or a pass inside the zone potentially. That was an optimistic shot from there. Very difficult to get any power with an extended arm like that. South Africans on the break now. Far side is Marks. Marks found himself swiftly covered by Larsen. South Africans ready and raring to go. They've chosen to come all the way back to their own half and set up their 3-1. So yeah, to Iwersen. Great stop by Ruan Marks. Kurtz needs to get hands to this, manages it. Big calls from behind, safe pass behind. Good communication there from South Africa. Berger. Over to Hertz. Got one man in the zone here, looking like they want to be sending in a second. It seems Berger just trying to pin that top man, that number 7, Kleist. Try and compress the zone in the middle, open up a space to run in. Again, the Danes holding firm. Lob, shot, Hail Mary. Clean over the bar. Hertz subbing off to bring on Hardy to hold this South African line against a barrage of white boats. Opportunity now, this is it. Great stop. Christensen just coming in with speed. Larsen to take, takes it short. Iwersen takes it himself. Lovely, back to Larsen. Larsen opportunity now, but surely too many paddles, tries to lay it off. It's fumbled, but the Danish have maintained control here. Ibu. Fast run on the left in the form of Larsen, but goes right to Iwersen instead. Danish compressing the zone both sides here. Iwersen. Back to Larsen. Larsen now with an opportunity, swatted off again. Credit to the South Africans, they've done a wonderful job holding back the tide. Larsen to take all the way back out. Aibu. Working in the zone is Tobor and Christensen. Number 8 from South Africa, Marks, poised and ready. The shot's coming. Is it coming from the left from Larsen? It's coming. Thought it was going to come for the middle there, but they've decided to recycle it. Another 30 seconds on the shot clock. Needs some cover here, really. Larsen. Shot. Again, kept under Danish jurisdiction. 23 seconds left on the shot clock. 19 seconds. Shot clock is now almost game clock, so realistically they're going to run this down. 10 seconds left. In comes the attack opportunity now, and they're going to commit everything to this because they know they can't be caught on the break. Iwasen, Larsen sends it to space. Just saw the ball rolling backwards out of its hand. I think it's fair to say fairly Danish dominated first half of canoe polo here on pitch 1. But I think South Africa have done an amazing job keeping it at a 1-goal deficit that very easily could have been 3 or 4. The defensive work has been spectacular. I think the Danish very much committing to their attacks. They're not providing much cover because they're so confident they can beat the South Africans back if required. To be fair to them, they've got the skills to back it up. While I've got a minute, big thank you to our sponsors. Obviously the International Canoe Federation, the Chinese Canoe Association, Yupin Sports, who've been our global sponsor for many years. Of course, to Huzhou City, and we are in the delightful Deqing County currently, which is about 2 hours from Shanghai. Coming to you live. Gorkon Group and Latour Sports, and of course Kailas as well, who produce very, very nice clothing. Thank you very much to Kailas as well. A little bit about the teams. Denmark, they're gunning for a World Games slot, which is happening in Chengdu next year, 2025. So realistically, that means they need a top 6 finish. They've raised their own sponsorship to get here. They've been creeping up the rankings over the past few years, and I do think that this team has what it takes to nab a top 6 finish. Fairly consistent over the past few years. South Africa, they won a top 16 finish, which would qualify them for the Worlds in 2016 in Duisburg, in the shiny new venue, which I'm assured is being built. Canoe Polo World Championships 2026 will be the first event to happen in that brand shiny new venue. The players have had to fund themselves to get here, which fair play to them from South Africa. That's not cheap. Been to South Africa myself, around the Cape Town area, absolutely beautiful. But they say if you only experience 4 seasons in one day, you're actually doing quite well. South Africans completely done with their team talk. They are lined up and raring to go on the goal line. Denmark just taking their time. Referee calls line up, please. Once again, the referees for this match, Andy Fear-Ross and Cheryl Fong. Sprinting from South Africa, looking like it's going to be Buchler. Taking on Kleist, I believe. Now, Kleist had this in the first half. Can he go 2 for 2? Yep, start infringement. Kleist just jumping the gun, something. Bit of an anticlimax, but rules is rules. Berger sets about trying to punch some holes in the Danish defence. I think that was a play on. That's a warning for number 7. I think tackling outside the 6-metre area. So Kleist now on a warning. Further infractions will incur a card, which will be 2 minutes in a sin bin. South Africa committing all to this. They need to make sure they provide some cover here. The Danish are very, very quick. That's not where that wanted to go. I think the Danes proving my point spectacular. Aibu is on his own. He is one-on-one with Buchler. He's going to bury this, surely. That's the one. Sometimes it looks like I'm an idiot. Sometimes it looks like I'm psychic, and there is absolutely nothing in between. So South Africa needing to tidy up their passing and ensure that covers there. I think Kleist doing very, very well not to concede an illegal tackle there, but I think, to be fair, I believe Berger very much put himself in that position underneath Kleist's boat. So I think that's why the referees haven't called it very wisely. I think we're going to time out. Whoa, now that's interesting. Okay, we've got a green card for illegal obstruction. Okay, well, as we said, Kleist has to be on his best behaviour. We're going to tie him out. I'd say we're going to take the ball back out. You need to let the Danish sort themselves out. We've just taken a player away from them. Opportunity now for South Africa to close this deficit. In goes Berger. Try and make some space. Buchler. That's the one! South Africa wasting absolutely no time in using this golden opportunity. 2-1. This became a lot more doable now for South Africa. Denmark, of course, now back up to 5 players. How will they answer this insult? Aibu misses the pass to Larsen, manages to keep control but finds himself under heavy pressure from Buchler. Kleist coming around the back just to try and offer some support. Danish, we're going to see them reset this out surely, all the way out, so they can hit that South African zone with speed. Kleist, Aibu, Larsen, Iversen. Reset this. 15 seconds on the shot clock. We're going to see something any second now. Larsen needs to find pass inside the zone. I think he was aiming to try and grab himself a penalty there. Not given. Larsen is going to reset the shot clock and buy the Danish a whole load more time. South Africa maybe looking to cram boats in here. Recycling it out. In goes Kleist, finds himself under pressure, being thoroughly ejected by Buchler. Iversen stopped at the border by the South Africans, and a huge cheer from the players. Just off the right side of the screen, you can see the South African coach. He has got his hands balled into fists. The tension is so palpable. Aibu not covered until Hertz came to unsteady him a little bit. That was number 5. Larsen just taking a minute to position himself under the guise of making sure he was in the corner. I think it's more likely he was waiting for Niels Torborg, who's just coming into the screen now. There he is, to come join. Tactical substitution to an excellent zone player, Niels Torborg. Kleist worms his way in, stopped once again. Danish have managed to keep control time and time again after rebound and rebound. Larsen surely can draw the foul here, chooses not to. South Africa ball. Debris. Denmark pushing out man to man. So in the UK we call this 5 out. I believe in the rest of Europe they call it a 5-man press. Play on, calls the ref. Hertz finding himself under pressure. Surely that's a holding foul, correct? That's a warning surely, or at least a card. Oh, number 4. I think a break in play has created an opportunity to award a card, so I believe that's number 4 from Denmark. Ibu is the captain, he is allowed to speak to the ref. He's not happy about it. I think Andy Fearos just shutting down a long conversation here. Good stop there from the Danish. Good refereeing control from Andy Fearos. The ball just sat behind the Danish. They're not obligated to help South Africa get the ball at all. Certainly if I were in their position, I wouldn't help either. 1 minute and 34 seconds left on the sin bin timer. Denmark down to 4. They've abandoned the press because they know they are outnumbered. Debris. Out to Marks. Back out to Debris. Hertz. Compressing the zone, but commits a foul in the process. Denmark now will South Africa go for a 4-man press with a keeper? They're a goal down, they need this if they're going to stand any chance of surviving this group stage. Interestingly, they've chosen to slot back into their 3-in-1 defence. They're not going to press the ball. They reckon that the Danish can move around sufficiently to get the ball past them, even a man down. 33 seconds left on the sin bin timer, and now 30 seconds left on the shot clock as well. So we're going to see a shot before Denmark are allowed to come back up to 5 boats. But they're going to run this down as much as physically possible. Denmark, they're a goal up. There's absolutely no reason to do anything here. South Africa ideally need to press out there. It's looking like they want to, but they're not quite committing to it. Iversen looks for the pass inside the zone, needs to take it himself. 5, 4, 3. Goes off for a corner. Denmark back up to 5. Ibu out of Polo prison. Long ball across, all the way over to Larsen. Danes once again powering into the zone. They're not providing cover. They feel like they don't need to. They're just too quick. South Africa have the ball. Iversen, I'm not sure if he's quite noticed. No, he has now. Berger sneaking up, but they reckon they've got it covered. Iversen shaking his head. He's really not happy bunny with that exchange. Iversen covering goal. 1 minute and 46 seconds left on the game clock. You can just see on the screen there, 32 seconds left on the shot clock. In goes Marks. Marks out to Hertz. Once again, stopped at the border. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. We're going to need something from the South Africans here. stopped definitively and kept under control by Iwason. I think just a look there from Marks, no, excuse me, from Truby. I think he thought he was being obstructed there, which I very much could see there was an argument for that. Battling in the zone with Sawyer going toe-to-toe with Berger. Trying to open up some space on that far side, you can just see. Kleist, Iwason looking for the pass in the zone, surely can't shoot from here. There's too many. 16 seconds left on the shot clock. They're going to need to pull something out of the bag in the not too distant future, especially with that wayward pass. 8 seconds. The lob shot absolutely prized out of the goal by Marks. I thought that second half was much better played by South Africa. They really, really tidied that up. They can be